America's most notorious, a glimpse inside. America, land of the free, home of the brave, a nation built on the ideals of liberty and justice for all. But beneath this shining veneer lies a stark reality that many choose to ignore. But behind the facade of freedom lies a dark underbelly, a network of prisons housing the nation's most dangerous criminals. These institutions are a stark contrast to the ideals of freedom and justice that America holds dear. These are not your average correctional facilities. They are fortresses designed to contain the most violent and unrepentant offenders, places where the walls are high and the security measures are extreme. These are places where hope goes to die, where the air is thick with despair and the stench of fear. The corridors echo with the sounds of anguish, and the cells are filled with stories of broken lives and shattered dreams. Join me as we journey into the heart of America's most notorious prisons, where every day is a fight for survival and every corner holds a story of violence and despair. Here, the struggle for power and control is a daily battle, and the stakes are life and death. These prisons are more than just concrete and steel. They are living, breathing entities that reflect the darkest aspects of human nature. Each cell, each corridor, each yard tells a story of its own. They are monuments to the dark side of the American dream, a stark reminder of the consequences of a society grappling with crime and punishment. These institutions stand as testaments to the complexities and contradictions of the American justice system. From the infamous cells of Alcatraz to the desolate plains surrounding Pelican Bay, these prisons hold a morbid fascination, drawing us into their dark and twisted narratives. They are places where history and horror intertwine, creating a tapestry of human suffering and resilience. We'll delve into the history of these institutions, uncovering the stories behind their construction, and the infamous figures who have walked their halls. These walls have witnessed some of the most notorious events in criminal history, and their stories are as chilling as they are compelling. We'll meet the criminals who've become synonymous with these prisons, the men and women whose crimes have shocked and horrified the nation. Their stories are a testament to the depths of human depravity, and the lengths to which society will go to contain it. Prepare yourself for a journey into the abyss, a glimpse into the darkest corners of the American justice system. This is a world where the lines between right and wrong are blurred, and where survival often comes at a high cost. This is not for the faint of heart. The stories you'll hear and the images you'll see are raw and unfiltered, a stark reminder of the harsh realities of life behind bars. This is a raw, unfiltered look at the reality of life and death within the walls of America's most notorious prisons. It's a journey that will challenge your perceptions and leave you questioning the true nature of justice and punishment in our society. Concrete jungles, where nightmares reside. These are places where the walls seem to whisper tales of despair, and the air is thick with the weight of countless lost hopes. Alcatraz Island, a name that sends chills down the spine, conjuring images of icy waters, inescapable cells, and the ghosts of notorious criminals. This island fortress, surrounded by the cold, unforgiving waters of the San Francisco Bay, was designed to be inescapable, a place where the most dangerous criminals were sent to be forgotten. Located in the heart of San Francisco Bay, Alcatraz was once considered the most secure prison in America. Its walls held the likes of Al Capone and the Birdman, Robert Stroud, men whose names are synonymous with crime and infamy. Its isolated location and reputation for brutality made it the ultimate symbol of punishment and despair. The prison's harsh conditions and strict discipline were designed to break the spirit of even the most hardened criminals. Moving east, we encounter another infamous institution, Attica Correctional Facility in New York. Known for its high walls and even higher tensions, Attica has a dark history that includes one of the bloodiest prison riots in American history. This maximum security prison has witnessed some of the most violent uprisings in American history, its name forever etched in the public consciousness as a symbol of prison unrest and the fight for prisoners' rights. The 1971 riot, which resulted in the deaths of 43 people, highlighted the brutal conditions and the desperate need for reform within the American prison system. Further south, nestled in the sweltering heat of Texas, sits the Ellis Unit, a sprawling complex housing thousands of inmates. This prison, like many others, is a world unto itself, with its own rules, hierarchies, and codes of conduct. Known for its brutal conditions and rampant violence, the Ellis Unit offers a glimpse into the harsh realities of life within the Texas prison system. Inmates here face daily struggles for survival, navigating a landscape of danger and deprivation. These are just a few of the notorious prisons scattered across the American landscape. Each one has its own unique history and set of challenges, but they all share a common thread of violence, despair, and the struggle for power and control. Each one a microcosm of violence, despair, and the human capacity for both good and evil. Within these walls, the lines between right and wrong, justice and injustice often blur, creating a complex and often tragic tapestry of human experience. Join us as we explore these concrete jungles, uncovering the stories etched into their walls and the lives forever changed within their confines. From the infamous to the unknown, we delve into the heart of America's most notorious prisons, seeking to understand the true nature of these places where nightmares reside. Infamous inmates, faces of evil. Behind the bars of these notorious prisons lurk some of the most recognizable names in criminal history. Names that evoke fear, disgust, and a morbid fascination. Names like Al Capone, the notorious gangster who ruled Chicago during the Prohibition era. Confined to Alcatraz for tax evasion, Capone's time on the island became the stuff of legend. Another infamous Alcatraz resident was George Machine Gun Kelly, a notorious bank robber and kidnapper. Kelly's reputation for violence preceded him, and his presence on the island only added to Alcatraz's fearsome reputation. Attica's history is also intertwined with notorious criminals like Mark David Chapman, the man who assassinated John Lennon. Chapman's presence at Attica, a stark reminder of his heinous crime, cast a long shadow over the prison. These are just a few of the infamous figures who have called America's most notorious prisons home. Their stories, a mix of violence, desperation, and twisted ambition, offer a glimpse into the dark side of the human psyche. Join us as we delve into the lives and crimes of these notorious inmates, uncovering the motivations and circumstances that led them to these concrete tombs. Section 4. A Day in Hell, Routine and Brutality. Life inside America's most notorious prisons is a monotonous cycle of confinement, brutality, and despair. The daily grind is relentless, with each day feeling like a carbon copy of the last. Inmates wake up to the same cold, hard reality, knowing that their freedom is a distant dream. The days bleed into one another, marked only by the clang of metal doors and the ever-present tension that hangs in the air. The sound of those doors closing is a constant reminder of their captivity, a harsh punctuation to the endless hours spent in confinement. Inmates are confined to their cells for hours on end, their only escape the company of other hardened criminals. The small cells become their entire world, a place where time seems to stand still. Interaction with other inmates can be a double-edged sword, offering both companionship and potential danger. Meals are a grim affair, often consisting of bland and unappetizing food. The cafeteria is a place where the lack of quality and care in the food is evident, a daily reminder of their low status in society. The food, often cold and tasteless, does little to nourish the body or the spirit. Violence is a constant threat, whether from fellow inmates or from the guards tasked with maintaining order. Fights can break out at any moment, turning the already tense environment into a battleground. Guards, often outnumbered and under pressure, must use force to keep control, adding to the cycle of brutality. The threat of gang activity looms large, with groups like the Aryan Brotherhood wielding significant power within the prison walls. These gangs operate with their own rules and hierarchies, often filling the power vacuum left by the prison authorities. Their influence can be seen in the graffiti that marks the walls and the tattoos that mark the inmates. For many inmates, the only solace is found in religion, education, or the occasional visit from a loved one. These moments provide a brief respite from the harshness of prison life, a chance to connect with something greater than themselves. Religious services, educational programs, and family visits offer a glimmer of hope in an otherwise bleak existence. These brief glimmers of hope offer a temporary escape from the harsh realities of prison life, a reminder of the world beyond the bars. A smile during a family visit, the satisfaction of learning something new, or the peace found in prayer, can make a world of difference to an inmate's mental state. But for every moment of hope, there are countless others filled with despair, reminding inmates that they are trapped in a system designed to punish and break them. The isolation, the monotony, and the constant threat of violence take a toll on their mental and emotional well-being. The desolate corridors and the view from a cell window serve as constant reminders of their lost freedom. Join us as we experience a day in the life of an inmate in one of America's most notorious prisons, witnessing firsthand the brutal realities of their daily existence. Through their eyes, we will see the struggle to maintain a sense of humanity in a place designed to strip it away. This is a journey into the heart of darkness where routine and brutality are the order of the day. Section 5. Echoes of Violence, Riots and Uprisings. The walls of America's most notorious prisons have witnessed countless acts of violence, both random and organized. Riots and uprisings have erupted with terrifying regularity, leaving behind a trail of destruction and bloodshed. These moments of chaos offer a glimpse into the simmering tension that exists within these confined spaces, a stark reminder of the human cost of incarceration. The Attica prison riot of 1971 stands as a chilling example of the devastating consequences of prison unrest. Inmates, frustrated by overcrowding, brutality, and inhumane conditions, took control of the prison, holding guards hostage and demanding better treatment. The four-day standoff culminated in a bloody assault by state troopers, leaving dozens dead and scores injured. The Attica riot sent shockwaves through the American justice system, forcing a national conversation about prison conditions and the rights of inmates. It also served as a stark reminder of the volatility and potential for violence that exists within these institutions. Join us as we revisit the scenes of these violent uprisings, examining the factors that led to these eruptions and the lasting impact they have had on the American prison system.